hi to everyone in the audience. My name is Dr. KK. I'll be one of the two speakers. And we also have Piyush here. Piyush, you can say hi.
Hi everyone, very nice to meet all of you.
Yeah.
Vidhi, all good now with the slides. Thank you. You
Yeah.
can continue.
Thank you. So, as everyone has already met, our speakers, our esteemed speakers, first up, we have Dr. Krishna Kumar, aka Dr. KK, serving as the Innovative Officer at Anago, a visionary in the field. Joining him is Piyush Agrawal, the Lead Product Manager at Trinka AI, who has a decade of expertise in building cutting edge AI empowered education products. Together, they form a powerful duo ready to convert your ideas into impact.
That's a lot of responsibility on us. Thanks for introducing us, Vidhi. Once again, hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everyone who's joining from around the world.
So, your active involvement is key, making this webinar a resounding success. Throughout our session, feel free to share your burning questions and insights using the questions tab in the control panel. Our experts will answer your questions during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Here's a quick rundown of today's agenda. We'll be covering topics including AI assistance trends in academia, areas of AI assistance, live demo of our Trinka AI studio, AI content assistance checklist, and end with Q&A session. And with that, I'll hand things over to you, Dr. KK. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Let me know once you see my screen. I hope it is visible, right?
Yes, good to go.
Okay, great, great. So once again, my name is Dr. KK. I have a life sciences background. I'm very passionate about technology and AI, and I've been working in this industry for a couple of decades. But I'm very interested in providing AI solutions for and AI assistance in academia, and I'm very excited about the product that we usually demo in a few minutes. But let's start by setting the context. Let's just one second. Let me yeah. So let's start setting the context. So there is some research regarding AI assistance already. So the first thing on your left that you see, it's these are results from 2023 survey in terms of the use of AI assistance across different subject areas, primarily Chat GPT. And you can see that surprisingly, when I saw this, it's a very good information piece to sort of build our trends on. So you can see that humanities and art sciences seem to lead the way compared to, let's say, science, technology, and engineering, etc. Right? So this is back 2 years ago in terms of AI assistance. But then there is more research coming in, and surveys of faculty from over 300 institutions from the from US and Canada, they this shows that there is a lot more increase in the misuse or abuse of AI. And lots of students and researchers are using AI, but maybe not in the right way. And that is also corroborated by the findings from the third study in terms of student misuse of AI. So all of this suggests that there is a lot of scope for AI assistance in research, but maybe we need to look at the key factors while look at all the options that you have available in terms of using AI for whatever purposes. And this is uh, let's say comprehensive list of points of consideration that if suppose you are a researcher, if you are in the field of research, and if you are using AI or considering using AI for any research purposes or other content generation purposes related to research, these are some of the things that you should keep in mind. So the first few are straightforward and obvious. So if you are looking for a product that needs to be scientifically context aware, and it needs to work with language in such a manner that it understands science as well. So it that also goes with logical reasoning and scientific rigor. These things are difficult if a generic AI tool may not be able to do these things properly. And if you are keeping up with the news about the latest model, there is a lot of information and developments coming. I guess many of you might have already heard of things like the AI co-scientists and deep research models. And we can even talk to AI, give it information in terms of video, etc. So things are changing very fast. And that also means that people will likely use things without being aware of data privacy or data security. And there is a big controversy regarding the type of content that has been used to train these models, whether the AI companies have the legal right to do it. And some of you, especially from the field of computer science and engineering, might have also used AI by using maybe locally deployed models on your laptops. Even small, there are small enough models these days that you can install on a laptop, and maybe even used API to interact and get some tasks done. Now, these are some of the things that you need to consider, but also at the same time, if you are using this for a research output, which is, let's say, a manuscript or a conference or an abstract or a poster, you also must be aware whether the place that you are, or the journal or the publisher that you want to publish this in, allows for it. And if it allows for it, do they want that to be explicitly stated that you have used it? So you need to consider these factors. It has to be cost effective. The more advanced models of OpenAI cost up to $200 per month. If you are aware of it, it's not affordable. So you need cost effective solutions. Now, whatever that you might be using, if the vendors or the people who are making the product are not able to explain how the product works, or are not transparent regarding how the data, that your data is being stored, that is also a problem. And we also, as I mentioned, deep research models are there. They can analyze things. There are things that are beating people in mathematics these days, models. And we are, I guess, a step closer to artificial general intelligence anyway. And finally, you also have to keep in mind that AI tools are still not like human tools. You need to have a human look at it, because it may not be accurate in terms of output. And there might be made up facts, which are called hallucinations. So all of these factors you must consider while you use AI assistants in whatever manner in academia. Now, I have gone through some of the trends, but I'd like to have your poll feedback regarding the latest trends that you think are shaping the AI assistant. So the poll must have appeared on your screens. I'll read it out while you answer. What do you think is the most significant trend shaping AI assistants in academia today? So you can select all that apply. So these cutting edge language models, is it deep research models and learning related models? Is it local deployment and API integrations? Is it controversies regarding IP rights or licensing? Or would you are you more interested in specialized research apps, or are you concerned regarding trends in data privacy and security? So as you answer, I'll invite Piyush to share his thoughts on what he thinks are the trends shaping AI
Very,
assistance.
very interesting poll, Dr. KK. So I would go with, of course, improved language models.
Mhm.
Also, deep research is also really shaping the trend in the academia with AI, and also the specialized research apps. So these will be my three takes on this poll.
Right. And I would probably add data privacy as well in terms of and licensing related things as well. So everything is relevant, but let's see what the results are from our audience. And the results, I guess, are appearing on everybody's screen. So improved language models, or the new models, are along with, sorry, deep research and learning models are the ones that are changing the research landscape, along with improved language models. And the next would be specialized research applications. Then you are in luck. I mean, for the 45% of the audience, we are providing you with a specialized research app for your AI content creation needs, and that's what Piyush will demo in a few minutes. So Piyush, let me go and explain some other things before I hand it over to you. So moving on. Before I let Piyush show the specialized AI app for your all your AI content creation needs, I have to explain to you the different ways in which you can use to create content, or use AI assistant to create content. So everybody is aware of research writing and submission related things. So for example, if you want to draft a manuscript, if you want to do literature review, if you want to summarize literature, if you want to understand deep read some literature, If you want to find more relevant literature, if you want to think of, let's say, alternative titles, etc., for your paper, if you want to decrease word count, if you want to convert a long manuscript, maybe share an outline for it to your research colleague or something like that. All of this is related to research, and that's what I'm covering in the first point, which is straightforward. But I believe, and this is my personal opinion, maybe you can correct me in the Q&A, that many people are still not aware of the potential of AI for publication extension. And by publication extension, I mean anything that is not going to be published in a journal or a conference or a poster abstract, anything that you would not add to your CV. So these could be, for example, some infographics related to promoting your content, some multimedia summaries, any supplementary content, for example, plain language summaries. All of these will improve the chances of your research going out into the world and modifying policies or letting more readers read your paper, eventually getting more citations. It's related to promotions, but not quite promotion. And the last point, obviously, is promotions themselves. So, for example, you could use AI to create social media content. For example, you want to talk about your research project in LinkedIn. If you want to say that you just simply attended a conference and these are your findings, you can use AI to quickly create content for it. And apart from this, you could probably have blogs which are related to your research area, which eventually keep everybody interested. So you can promote yourself and your research and your projects. All of these things have to be thought about when you think about AI in the context of research. So if you have not thought about it, please keep in mind publication extension and promotion. And because this will be very contextual, while Piyush demonstrates some of the very interesting, useful apps for you in these contexts in a few minutes. And now, even though I am aware of it, many people are still not aware of it. So this survey results, it is from 150 survey researchers. It is, I think, the subject area is again related to arts and humanities and maybe business management. But the thing is, you can still see that the trends in AI use are limited. And I'm surprised to see that 55% of the people are using auto grammar checking. I mean, that's fine. I mean, everybody should use that, but only 55%. And what about the other cool things that we talked about? We still haven't scratched the surface in terms of how you could use AI to improve your research. So all of these are okay, but these by themselves are low compared to what I would expect, because I would have imagined that many researchers are already using uh, AI in various different ways. But how can we improve the way that we use, and what are the things that we should keep in mind in terms of AI assistance? And there are several things, but I'm still going to ask you. You can poll. This is a second poll that I'm going to share with you. So these are some of the concerns, and I want you to choose them. So what concerns do you have, the audience have, regarding AI assistance in content generation? So I'm expecting Vidhi to have pushed the poll. Yeah, the poll is right here. So I'll read out the options: over reliance, undermining critical thinking and creativity; data handling and privacy issues; accuracy and reliability of outputs; ethical issues; lack of transparency; publishing and copyright compliance. And I don't expect anybody to select no concerns, but I'm still, let's see. So, Piyush, what concerns would a researcher have while using AI assistance?
First of all, this is very important question, and for me, ethical issues are one of the main concerns, followed by copyright compliance issues. So I'll select these two.
Yeah, and if I were to choose, I would probably accuracy is something that's something. And Piyush, you wouldn't believe many people have accused me of over reliance on AI, and I hope that it's not hampering my critical thinking and creativity. But yeah, but that's a concern anyway. So let's hope the results will be out soon. Oh yeah, so the results are: the leader is ethical issues. I think Piyush, you selected that, and accuracy and reliability of outputs along with over reliance. Interesting. Do you think? Do you want to comment on the results? And no concerns. There is 2% of the audience is selecting that. Any thoughts on this, Piyush?
I mean, it is what I also expected. And then also there was a recent study published that says that use of generative AI is reducing the critical thinking. I think audience is also translating that
Yeah.
finding in their poll.
Right, right. So these are some of the concerns. But in terms of AI content generation, there are a couple of other points that you should also keep in mind. So, in terms of, look, many people who use AI for content creation do it because English may not be their primary language. So, they need to create high quality content. So, they need to have that quality within the application itself. They need to be able to create content for a variety of use cases, right? Now you can argue that you can use any app, any, like for example ChatGPT, you can use it for creating content, but it may not be as good as specialized apps. And you need specialized apps for research output purposes to create create content that will communicate your technical content without losing its, you know, essence of it. When your research communication will be accurate enough, you can sort of rely on it. Eventually you'll have to ensure that it is accurate, but the more specialized an app for this purpose, then the better the results would be. And obviously you'll have to keep in mind data privacy and security, which is also a thing that selected that was selected, a point that was selected, highlighted in the poll itself. Now, I'm so excited to say that almost all of this, I mean, in fact, all of this is being solved by the research specific application that Piyush will demo. It is, we are calling it the Trinka AI Studio. As you can see, there are several apps you can access once you log in. And for example, you can use it to rewrite your abstract or a conclusion, or maybe you can use it to create a plain language summary or summarize literature. The possibilities are limitless, and we can create customized apps for you if you want. So it's basically a no code platform where built for creating content for scientific let's say publication extension and social media content creation. This is the primary thing, but you can also use it for research output creation if you select the right app and use the right methodology. So with that, I will now request Piyush to show us a demo of the product and maybe highlight a couple of key applications. Piyush, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. KK. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Piyush Agrawal. Very happy to meet all of you and very excited to demonstrate Trinka AI Studio. So I'll share my screen and I'll quickly give you a walkthrough. So, in the interest of everybody, first of all, let me introduce you Trinka. So, Trinka is an AI-powered complete writing assistant, custom built for technical and academic writing. And using Trinka from ideation to finding the top tier journal, everything can be done on a single platform. So, as you can see, you can check the grammar, you can proofread a file, you can fix the inconsistencies issue, you can be more inclusive in your writing, you can also do the paraphrase and lot more in Trinka. But today I'm going to focus on AI Studio. AI Studio is a no code AI powered platform that allows you to generate the quality content with minimum effort, with faster execution, and leaves you with more productivity. So, so to log into Trinka, you can create your account for free. And I have already created an account, so I'll just quickly log in there. So this is how Trinka AI will look like. So as I mentioned, there are multiple features, but today I'm going to focus only on the AI Studio. So in AI Studio, as you can see that there are multiple pre-configured apps for academic and general purpose. As you can see, the manuscript blog writer, paper title idea generator, augment analyzer, critic writer, conclusion writer, example generator, summarizer, plain language summary, keyword generator, and citation booster, and so on. Some of my favorite apps I have listed here: manuscript blog builder, paper title idea generator, and tweetable abstract from abstract, and press release from the manuscript, and so on. So let's see how it can help you to generate the content. So let's take an example. Let's say so also Dr. KK mentioned about the use of AI. We should be very responsible and ethical when we are using AI. So I'll cover three. I have divided my demo in three phases. So the use case that I'm going to demonstrate is the minimum. So use case is that the scenario is that you have already published a paper. Now you want to promote your paper. You want to make your paper visible on the social media. You want to write blog, you want to write tweet, and so on. And then how you can write that with the ease. So let's say manuscript blog builder. Let's open this thing. So you already published a manuscript. Now you want to write a blog. So you can upload your manuscript here. So this is, let's say this is my manuscript. I uploaded my manuscript here. And then you can also write your key findings here from the manuscript. So I have already written the key findings of this manuscript. So you will also have the key findings of your manuscript. So you can simply paste this thing, and then you can write your blog is for general public, for example. And then that's all you need to do and generate. Within few seconds you will see that a very powerful, engaging blog will appear in front of you. And that is the value that we provide. This is a specialized app that we have created that generates the blog understanding the manuscript and give you a very high quality blog that will certainly improve the visibility of your manuscript. So you see that there is a title breaking down the language barrier, the revolutionary transformer model, introduction, the transformer model, key findings of this, and then the conclusion, and then the reference and the code resources and so on. So this is one example that how you can promote. So if otherwise you were to do this thing, you will go to some other platform and do a lot of other things. But here in a secure platform, privacy first platform, you can do this thing. So this is one example. I'll take another example. Let's say you want to write a press release. After your blog, you want to write a press release. Just simple. You need to just upload your manuscript. Simply just submit the manuscript and generate. Within few seconds, you will see a very interesting, very informative press release will come that you can use for your for sharing and making your paper more visible. So it's just taking time and giving the output. So you see that output is here. Google researcher revolutionized machine translation with transformer model. And then this is the city and state, and then key findings and significance, impact, availability, and then address and so on. So they see that how nice this press releases. Now this is AI generated content. Now you want to personalize this. You want to fine tune this press release. So you can open this within Trinka and you can fine tune. So we provide a seamless experience of content generation and then the content editing and fine tuning the content so that you can write your press release as you really want it to be written. So you see that in a seamless way, your manuscript is open within the Trinka cloud editor. Otherwise, what will happen? You will use a tool to generate the content, and then you will use another tool to edit the content. But here, see the value. You have only one tool to generate the content as well the edit the content to finalize your content. Now, say this one. Let's say you want to change this one. You want to improve this one. So there is also a lot of AI help is available. So you want to improve the fluency. You can improve the fluency of this one. So let's say this is the more fluent version of this paragraph. You can replace the selection. So this is how you can personalize this. So let's say if you really don't want this information, you can delete this information. Or if you want to check the consistency, you can also check the consistency from here. So I'll summarize this use case. So the use case was that you wanted to improve the impact of your research paper. You can generate the blogs, the press release, suitable content, and so on. And this use case is where use of AI, use of generative AI is least risky because your paper is already published. Now you are generating the content to improve the visibility, and their use of generative AI is totally fine as long as your paper is your own paper. So this is the least risk scenario that I covered. If there are any questions, please put them in the chat box and we'll answer them. Now let's take another use case. Let's go to the editor only. The use case is that some of you also asked those questions that how, while writing the paper, I can use the AI. So let's say that I have a paper that I am writing. So let's say this is my paper. I am writing this paper. Let's open this paper. So I'm moving to another use case where you are in the middle of writing a paper. Okay, you are in the middle of writing a paper. So let's say this is my paper. This paper I am writing. I'm in the middle of writing this paper. Okay, now how can I use AI responsibly with the keeping the ethics in mind and not coming across as copying or any IP related copyright violation? So what you can do is that let's say you have written the abstract. So what you can do, you can use AI to improve this abstract. You can use AI to improve the fluency, clarity, readability. So let's say you want to improve the clarity of this aspect, then you can use AI to improve the clarity of this thing. So this is more clear, and you can replace the selection. And let's say you want to improve the readability of this particular paragraph, then you can improve the readability of this paragraph here. So this use is totally okay because your abstract is written by you. Your introduction is written by you. You are using AI to improve that, to make it more readable, more, to make it more clearer. You are not trying to generate the abstract. So that if you are trying to just generate the abstract, that might come across as the unethical use of AI, but you have already written an abstract of your own, and then you are using AI to improve that thing, to make it more fluent, or adjust the tone, and on similar lines. Then that is not an unethical use of AI. So this is another use case that I wanted to discuss. Now, also within this, you can do multiple other things such as, let me demonstrate some of the use cases that we have. You can make it longer, shorter. You can adjust the tone, voice, paraphrase, strengthen it, or identify the assumptions, and write a critic. So these are some of the AI assistants that are available within Trinka. So this is use case number 2, where you are writing the paper and then you wanted to use AI, keeping ethics in mind and keeping the copyright violation in mind and IP in mind and so on. Now the third thing will be that you have started writing something new, and you have a very broad idea in your mind, but you are not able to take the final foot forward to start your paper. So this is this is the most risky part of using AI, is that generative AI thing. It is basically on Trinka. You can come and do the slash ask, and then you can generate a paragraph on, let's say, advantages of AI. So you can generate so let's say you have a broad idea in mind. So use case number 3 is that you have a broad idea in mind and you want to get started, but there is a block in your mind which is not letting you to take that final step and get going with your writing. So you can come on Trinka and you can write this thing. But again, you need to be very careful that don't this uh, paper that you want to publish, but you can use that if you really want to remove your writer's block. You want to get some starting points, some heads up, so that you can get going with your writing. And also, if you have generated a paragraph, you can also let AI keep writing another paragraph on the similar line. So this is very risky, but you can eliminate that risk if you use that with lot of information, with lot of attention and understanding that what it does. So I'll quickly summarize these 3 use cases. One is that you wanted to promote, where their use of generative AI is least risky, and Trinka AI Studio offers a lot of application that gives you high quality content within seconds, such as generating the blog, generating the tweet, generating the press release, and so on and so forth, that you can log in and check. And the second use case was that you are writing a paper and you wanted to use the AI with keeping the ethics in mind, so that I showed that you can do the improve the fluency, you can improve the readability, clarity, paraphrase, tone, and so on and so forth. Now, the third case is that there was one thing in your mind, but you were not able to take the final step, and you are blocked. Then you can remove that block coming on Trinka and just write the /ask command and then AI assistants will appear, and then you can ask it to write something. And this is the most risky use case, but you can eliminate that risk. So this is the three use cases in the order of their risk from low to high. Now also there is an admin side of the thing also, that you can create also your own application. So for our enterprise clients, so let's say in audience some of you maybe representing your university or your enterprise. So for them we also provide an admin dashboard. There you can create your own application. So you can see here that this is the admin dashboard. There you can create your own application. So for example, so this is how you can configure your. It's very simple. It's no code platform. Anybody can do this thing, as long as they know that how they can write a good prompt, and then basic understanding of how AI works. So you can create your application like this, and then we have a lot of controls also, that for the enterprises, that they can create the groups, they can create the users, they can create multiple admins. Also, if that organization serving multiple organization which are their customer, then those also can be configured. So basically a lot of access management, access control also can be done. And also we also provide the for the enterprise client, we also provide the knowledge graph creation, where the real time information can be extracted from their knowledge base and repository and so on. So a lot of enterprise level customizations we have. Also for enterprises, we provide the choice of not be doing the good job for all the use cases. For example, some language models are good for the reasoning, and some are for the unstructured data on emotional thing, like ChatGPT 4.5 is good on the emotional side of things. On the other hand, O series is good on the reasoning side. So the choice of LLM also we provide to our enterprise client based on their use cases. So just to summarize the enterprise version, that we allow enterprises to create their own apps. We let them control the access of those apps, and there are a lot of levers, such as we can create the knowledge graph, choice of LLM, and so many other things. Customizations options are available. Coming back to the individual authors like you, the researchers like you. So this is Trinka AI Studio, where you can access a lot of applications. Just come on Trinka and then come to the AI Studio, and then you will find a lot of application on the academic and general side, and then you can start using those applications. And I'm sure that you will generate a lot of value from Trinka AI Studio. So that is all for the demo. So there are, how this is addressing the challenge. So I want to touch upon. For that, there are a couple of slides which I want to discuss with all of you. So so you see that these are the three things. How AI Studio addresses the challenges that AI poses. One is that you saw that we have a lot of specialized app created for you to generate the high quality content. And to create the specialized app, it needs a lot of expertise. It needs a lot of understanding of domain. So we know that some of you might know that our parent is Inago, which is leading into academic English editing business. So that we have translated all those knowledge in creating this application. And then the as I showed for our enterprise client, customized workflow and custom applications all can be created with a lot of real-time contextual context-based extraction using the knowledge graph and RAG and so on and so forth. And most important, for some of you is that data privacy and confidentiality. So for this, I want to inform you that we don't use any third-party large language model. We have self-hosted our large language model in our premise, and we don't use your data for training the model. That means your data remains with us, private, secure, and safe, and we don't use that data to train any AI model further. So that's we provide the data privacy and confidentiality to all our users. So these are some of the challenges that it addresses. And what are some of the values? Then, as I mentioned, that it helps you create the high quality content faster and seamlessly, as we have a lot of specialized AI app built by our experts. And then second value is that a variety of use cases, from generating the blog to summarizing to doing the critique and improving the fluency. And so you can do a lot of variety of the use cases you can cater using the Trinka AI Studio. As I mentioned in the beginning, you saw that if you go and write PR by yourself, then it will take a lot of time. But here you saw that PR was press release was just created within second, and also it allowed you to personalize this, as you want, with in the same interface, in the same with a very seamless experience. So it's saving your time. Product data as self-hosted LLM, as I mentioned just now, that we have hosted we have self-hosted LLM. We don't use chat GPT or OpenAI integration, or in that case, any API integration that takes your data and send to a third party. We keep your data very private, secure, and safe in our own premises. So I think that is all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. KK.
So, Piyush, before I let you go, I just want to understand for somebody who is wanting to try this out, they just need to register themselves in Trinka, and once they register and access, they can find Trinka AI Studio and then use any of the apps, right? That
That's right.
sounds that sounds fascinating. I'm hoping that a lot of the audience will create accounts if they don't have already. And please let us know what you think about the apps that are already available. So thank you very much, Piyush. This is very impressive. I think we already have a lot of comments coming in the chat, explaining what they think about it. So let me now take over from Piyush and tell you some of the things. If suppose you are impressed by what Piyush has already shown you, especially the way that you can interact with your own written content and improve it within Trinka, you probably are going to try it. And if suppose you're going to try it, you need to be aware of the things that you need to take care of while you're generating content. So Piyush has already explained to you that for ethical use there are different sort of levels of ethical use. If you're promoting your research, you don't have to really think about copyright and licensing. And while I was preparing for this webinar, we received so many questions on the ethical use of AI that's the reason why I'm presenting to you this checklist. So I'll start with the first point. The thing that I want to state is that if suppose you are using AI to create, improve any content, you still are the owner of the content, and your name is associated with it. So you own the content, and you need to ensure that its accuracy is maintained by you, and you are accountable for it. Please keep that in mind. And in most research output cases, for example, if you're publishing a manuscript, and if you have used AI content generation or even assistance, many publishers and journals will want you to explicitly state that. A minority would also not want you to do that. If suppose you have used it, they're probably going to, this minority publisher subgroup will not want your manuscript to be to have any sort of AI content generation assistance, at least. So make sure that you explain the attribution aspect of it. And while you are choosing your AI, let's say, application, you must ensure that if you are putting in copyrighted content, maybe research papers are copyrighted content. Even if you are doing literature review, etc., if suppose you're using a publicly available, let's say OpenAI, ChatGPT, technically the license of those the content that you are feeding into ChatGPT lies with the publishers in most cases. So you are technically infringing on copyright licenses. So, as I mentioned earlier, if you are submitting research outputs like manuscripts, etc., or conference proceedings, you'll have to check their guidelines. And whenever you use it, please ensure that you are using ethically. Piyush has explained the different levels at which you can use. So, keep those lines in mind. And once again, I want to bring home the entire thing into one thing. You are a human responsible for whatever assistant or whatever content that that you publish or put out into the world using assistance or improvement or generation, whatever it might be. You are still responsible to have the complete sort of human oversight into what you put out. So if you keep in mind all of these, your use of AI will be within the ethical and moral, guardrails, and you will have success, as well as you can improve your productivity without getting into any trouble. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I hope you taken the message, and I think we are good to go to the Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'll let Vidhi open the floor for Q&A.
That was very insightful and valuable in creating high quality content with specialized AI apps. Thank you, KK and Piyush, for sharing your expertise and showcasing the power of AI tools. I'm sure everyone's minds are buzzing with even more questions after seeing the Trinka AI Studio's capabilities firsthand. So, without further ado, let's begin with our Q&A session. So, Piyush, could you let us know that what is Trinka doing that I can't do with the right prompt via OpenAI Chat GPT, and how much does Trinka cost? So I think the costing bit for Trinka is being handled by our Trinka AI team. Piyush, you could answer the first section.
Yeah, sure. So as we saw in the poll that data privacy and was one of the main concern while using the AI. So that is what Trinka does. It keeps your data safe and private. On the other hand, if you are using Chat GPT, the subscription, then that is not guaranteed. That is number one. Number two, that as I mentioned, Trinka AI Studio also offers a lot of customization. Also, we are working on a lot of other things such as creating the knowledge graph and generating the real-time context, and so that the output or the response from the LLM is much more um, uh, accurate. We are also doing that thing. So it's not only that we have added the prompt and the application, it's much deeper technology integration in the apps that we have. But above all, what we provide is the data privacy that may not be there in the Chat GPT.
Thank you so much for answering that. Another question is asking, what about the changes in style of the text paragraph? Does it stay the same?
I think Piyush, it is referring to the text formatting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So what about the changes in the style of the text paragraph? When you generate the content and try to insert that content, the style gets slightly changed, but you can download the file in the Word document, or within Trinka also we have a lot of style options that you can use and do the styling once you have done with the content creation. So you can do the lot of styling and formatting and so on.
KK, do you have anything to add up to it?
No, I think that's something that I think we are working on. We would like the font text styles to remain the same, and it's just that this is a new feature and we are building it. And if you want to change it, obviously you can just select it and just select the font. That's as simple as that. But I think you should focus more on the quality of the content assistance that you're getting. That's what
And
I'd like to say.
what about AI detection?
So we also have AI content detector report available. So Anita, if you can put the link of that tool in the group in the chat box, then so that they can refer to that. And also we are also adding AI content detector within Trinka also. So to answer your question, Vidhi, it is available currently in Inago reports, which is also part of Trinka AI tech ecosystem. And also we are adding this feature in Trinka also for Trinka users as well.
Another question we have is that does Trinka AI assure language inclusivity, especially with around growing changes in the DEI landscape?
Yes,
So,
it does. It does, and also to make to evaluate whether your content, your language is inclusive or not. Not. We have a dedicated report called inclusive language report. So that also you can run. It has 7 biases that it detects, such as religion bias, age bias, gender bias, nationalities bias, and so on. So, Anita, can you please share the link of that report also in the chat box?
And I'd like to add here, I understand this question must be related to the US administration's new directives on, let's say, if suppose you have gender related studies and you have a problem in funding, etc. Now, the good news is that even though the government is saying this, many publishers, at least the leading publishers in health and life sciences, are protesting it. And I mean, we still believe, as in we take pride in ensuring that DEI things are not, let's say, ignored in the products and in the services that we provide. So Trinka will always have it, I think, and it's up to you. If you want to use it, you can use it, and it is there. So if most of your publishing, journal targeted publications will still need DEI checks, and you can use, as Piyush mentioned, Trinka or the Inago reports version of it to find and improve your paper.
thank you for answering that. Does it bring real citations and sources? One attendee has asked this.
Currently, no, but we are working on these features as well.
One user has asked, I have been using AI tools actively for writing. What are some general checkpoints I should consider when selecting a tool? Kiki?
Well, the last couple of slides were around that, but I would recommend that you select something that focuses on specialization for research content use cases and considers the data security aspects as well. This is what I would do, and but more importantly, if suppose you can you find a tool which fits these checkboxes as well as it works for you, you can use it. There will be many such things, and what Piyush showed is one such thing, but we believe that it's the best that is there.
Is there an added security to identify AI created content like a DRM?
I don't think we have DRMs. Yeah.
Another
Piyush, do you want to add to it?
No, we don't have DRM, but again, if security to identify AI created content, like no, but we have AI content detector report that can be used to identify whether a content is AI generated or not. And then also we are working on another very interesting feature that will be demonstrating in our upcoming webinar, which is exactly addressing this case. So yeah.
Another question states that the paragraphs that we write with Trinka can turn it and detect it as AI. How can we make sure that it is ethical?
I'll let Piyush answer this.
So because they are AI generated only, so most of the tool might detect them and AI generated. As that is why I mentioned that that use case is the highest risk use case. However, that you need to generate the paragraph only if you are blocked, but then you can get the idea and then rephrase and write in your own language and so on. So that's the thing.
We have another one. Do publishers allow the use of tools like GPT and Claude, considering content licensing concerns? KK, what do you have
Yeah,
to say?
yeah, I think the content licensing concerns are not applicable from that point of view. I think there's a two-part question. In general, these companies have models that have been trained on copyright content, and they are fighting lawsuits against whoever the copyright owners are. That's one thing. The second thing, what you're talking about, is whether AI assisted content generation, such content will be accepted by publishers, right? So I think about a year ago, December 2023 or something, it was most publishers did not want you to do this, and some publishers wanted you to tell, as in explicitly state in the manuscript that you have done it. But this since then, in the next 12 months or so, things have changed, and most publishers are now okay with using ethical and moral use of AI for assistance and content generation wherever it's applicable. For example, you can use AI to generate a list of keywords. That's not a problem. You can use AI assistance, as Piyush explained, to improve some content. You can use AI to develop a manuscript outline. But whatever it is that you have done with AI, you have to explicitly state it. And if there are even some places, some journals which request you to, if suppose you have used ChatGPT, any such chatbots, even to paste the prompt to sort of where, how did you start this research, and if suppose you have used the prompt for whatever it might be, please paste that as. So that is how it's a wide range of requirements. But whatever it is, if you have a target journal, check their guidelines before you do any work related to that.
Thank you. Attendees thanking for the great presentation and asking if Trinka AI is available as an open source.
Trinka AI is not available as an open source. It's our own proprietary technology, and you can buy the subscription and use this thing.
And should I disclose the use of Trinka AI whenever I use it to my institution and publishers?
Again, Trinka AI offers wide range of AI solutions, from grammar check to generative AI related generated content. Okay, so it depends what you are doing. So let's say you generated a paragraph using Trinka AI, then you should declare that. Otherwise, let's say you use Trinka AI just to check your grammar, paraphrase, then you need not to.
Yeah. And I'd just like to add to it again, check your publisher journal guidelines before you decide. This is the general rule right now, that if you step beyond a line, then you have to state that you have used it. And that's why the grammar assistant, like for example, if everybody is using spell checkers for the last 3 decades or so, right? Nobody states that I've used a spell checker. So where is that line? That line will continuously shift until it reaches that stabilization point. Currently, it is AI content generation. You state that you have done it.
What is the difference between Trinka and other available sources? Is it more secure?
Certainly, Trinka is the secure and the private platform, as we have self-hosted the model and we don't use any chat GPT integration. So some of our models we have developed in-house. Those are our own proprietary models. So, and how it is different, because from ideation to finding the top tier general, all can be done on a single platform. So Tinka provides during the writing phase of a researcher, Trinka provides variety of AI solutions such as grammar, paraphraser, consistency, AI Studio, citation formatter, citation checker, general finder, and we are working on a lot of other interesting solutions also. So the value that we provide, it improves the productivity, and that also differentiates us from others. Another thing is that with respect to technology, with respect to specifically our grammar correction model, so our grammar correction model is specialized in the academic and technical writing compared to other competition in the market.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to Piyush's answer. If the question is it more secure? I think that it is one of the most secure applications, because we provide a separate plan for data security. We take that as a big thing that we should provide, especially for enterprise and businesses. And so for them, we have sensitive data plan where we do not keep your data at all. It is erased from our servers. It's not stored on our servers, etc. So I think the simple answer is yes. We are more secure, and we also use locally deployed models for the AI studio cases. So once again, if you are putting any copyrighted content, it's not going to any servers where you might land up in trouble. So that's another thing. So the answer from my point of view, Piyush, is that it is more secure than any other app.
Agree. And you rightly mentioned about sensitive data plan. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
We have another question. Is Trinka generated text approved by Enago while it is being used by the services of proofreading? That they mean to say is that is it clear and doesn't need further proofreading by Enago?
Yeah, so from a pure proofreading checkpoint point of view, obviously yes, that's why it is an AI. It is one of the leaders in. It is the leader in AI assistance in terms of improving your manuscript. But if that proofreading is not the only thing that you need to have, you also need to check the logic, the content, etc. And as I mentioned, whatever content that you generate using anything, regardless of the application you use, you still own the content and you need to ensure that is accurate. So human oversight is required from any non-grammar check, non-proofread point of view. So that's always going to be there, if that makes sense. Piyush, if you want to add something to this.
no, I think you have covered that, KK.
Yeah.
Thanks for the great webinar. As a professor who's been in academia over 3 decades, I struggle with understanding AI content detection in assignments. Can you suggest some good content detectors?
So Inago reports AI content detector is very good. Anita, would you like to share the link or should I share? Let me share this link.
Yeah, while Piyush is sharing that link, I'll also like to tell you that all content detectors have the same problem, that they cannot be 100% accurate. So eventually, the choice is yours, but ours is as good as any other.
Thank you for that. Another one is asking, how can I avoid AI text plagiarism when using AI tools for content generation?
Great. AI text plagiarism. I suppose that means if you are using AI for generating content, will it
Right.
pick up sentences from published papers and then it will eventually be flagged as plagiarism? As far as I know, there have been some instances where this has happened, but the whole premise of using content generation using generative AI is that it mathematically comes up with a random next logical suggestion. So technically, when the models improve, you should not have this problem. But there have been also cases. So I would say that it will diminish as a chance that your text is detected for plagiarism. However, AI generated content will have its own artifacts. So you will still be flagged for having used AI if you do not disclose it, which is why we say that you should always disclose if you used it for generating content.
Right. Are there any other tools that Trinka provides to find literature?
Can you repeat the question? Are there any other tools?
That Trinka provides to find literature.
Find literature.
Yes.
So we have Inago Read, which is AI powered literature review assistance. So there we have related paper that you can use, and I'll share the link in the group so that in the chat box so that you can use that. So there we have indexed more than 2 million papers, and then you can find the related papers using that tool. So I've sent the link in the chat box. It's read.inago.com. You can use that related paper
Yeah, I
feature.
think Piyush, you mean 200 million and continuously increasing,
Yeah,
and we index it very frequently.
yeah,
Yes, it's
that's
right.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty much everything that you can find in terms
That
of
is
research.
absolutely great. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it possible to train it to the user's voice writing style without sharing the actual data set? Is it possible to do that via Trinka?
I don't think so, but I'll let Piyush answer. Piyush, the question is whether if the user provides their own style of writing, can the generated content be in their style, like how the more advanced models like Claude and ChatGPT might provide?
Currently, we don't have this thing out of the box, but we can think of this. However, as I mentioned, as I showed in the demonstration, let's say a text is generated. Then if you notice, then there was a small text box, that you can use to make it to your own style. So you can, play around with the output and make it with your own style. But out of the box, we don't have, what you are referring to correctly.
Yeah, just to contextualize it, what Piyush is referring to is the additional information that Piyush demonstrated in the first use case, where you are preparing, I think, I forget, a press release or something, where you provide the content, the key findings, and any other information that you want to create. So if you want to add your own stylistic, like for example, I want it to be more casual, I want it in short sentences, you can pass it on there, and it will then generate the content accordingly.
So we are
So,
moving
so
to
that also reminded me. That's a good point. So for you, we can also think of creating a custom application where we can, put your style in that application, and then content can be generated. So that is a workaround that I can think of.
Thank you for answering that, Piyush. We are moving towards the end of the session, and I'll just ask one last question. So I'll read out the question. Thank you for organizing this wonderful session. Can I know the panelists' thoughts on how they envision the future of AI-powered academia to be like?
I'll answer. I expect AI to be integrated into just about every imaginable flow, because after all, research is primarily dependent on text related content ingestion, understanding, as well as output. So in terms of AI integration, I think we are entering a phase where every aspect of research will be AI powered in one way or the other. But the only thing is that there still needs to be human until the AIs become that good. But that's at least a couple of decades, in my opinion. Until then, you'll start seeing AI integration in every aspect of research.
Yeah, so I just add, I think future will be that most of your research is done by some AI agents, where you will have your personalized agents doing the literature review for you and giving you the the information that you really need, removing all the noise. You will have an agent that will do the data analysis for you. You will have an agent that will do the promotion for you. So I can see that coming very in the future, that your research will be augmented by multiple AI agents working in a coordination. So I see that coming in the future.
And that concludes our webinar. From idea to impact, high quality content creation made easy with specialized AI apps. We hope you found today's session informative and insightful. Before we wrap up, I'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Dr. KK and Piyush Agrawal, for sharing their expertise with us today. We'd also like to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Your participation and engagement have truly made this webinar a success. We would request you to please fill out the feedback survey displayed after you leave the webinar. And remember that the learning doesn't end here. Join us again for another enlightening session where we bring to you a different aspect of utilizing AI tools to enhance your academic writing and publishing journey. Stay tuned and thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Vidhi. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.